What is up, guys? Welcome to another skateboard tutorial. Today we're going to be teaching you how to grip a skateboard. I got an Addicted skateboard right here. This is my skateboard company I just started. And I'm going to be gripping this board for one of my customers, which I'm down to do. I'm not worried about spending like 5 minutes gripping a board because I'm pretty good at gripping boards. I used to suck at it. I used to do the worst job ever, but now I do it perfect pretty much every time. So I'm going to teach you guys how to do a perfect grip job every time with a full sheet. No like cutting squares or any stupid things like that. I mean, you can cut squares if you want to be creative, but I'm just going to show you guys the basic way of how to grip a skateboard. So let's get into it. So to grip a skateboard, you're going to need two tools. A razor blade and something to use as a file. You can use a screwdriver, like a skate tool. You could even use the edge of the razor blade that's not sharp. Just be careful, of course. You just need to be able to file down the corners of the board so when you're cutting the sides of the grip, it doesn't like peel up on you. You don't have to use a razor blade to cut it. I've seen people use like plastic silverware knives, which isn't convenient, but if you have a razor blade, you can cut grip perfect every time. Anytime I've used like a knife or anything like that, it hasn't been that great, but razor blades, they're the way to go. You can find razor blades for really cheap, so don't be shy to go buy a box of them. Or just use a knife. You can do it, you might need to be a little more delicate so you don't mess up. Razor blades, they cut perfect, so I recommend razor blades. And like I said, you're gonna need grip tape, of course, which you can get at skate shop. They sell rolls of them online. You can find grip tape. Just look on the internet or just go to your local skate shop. And you need a board, which you can find at your local skate shop as well. Or you can buy a board online. Just get what you like. So I would not recommend gripping a skateboard in your house because when you're filing it and cutting it, the grip just gets everywhere. It's kind of like a fine like dust almost. So if you don't want that all over your floor, just go outside and then it doesn't matter. I just recommend doing it outside, and that's what we're going to do right now. So let's get it. So for actually putting the grip on the board, I would definitely recommend having like a bench or something, but I don't have that. So we're just gonna do it on the ground. Show you guys how easy it is. Get your skateboard out of the plastic. Just admire the graphic because, you know, Addicted skateboards are the best. Grab your grip tape. Some people peel like half of it and kind of do it slowly, but I just peel the whole thing. So yeah, just peel the whole thing off. Toss that. Now this is probably the hardest part, is lining it up. So I would try to like find the very center of the grip and try to match it up with the very center of like the tail or the nose, whatever side you're doing first. And like I said, if you have a bench, this will be a million times easier. So I think I got it. Now just slowly pat it. Don't like try to like stick it because you want to make sure you have it all even. See, I didn't have it all even right there because it's kind of hard and it's really hot outside, so the grip is really sticky. That's another thing to note, is if it's like cold outside or hot, the grip's going to stick different. Once you do like a couple, you'll kind of figure out where you need to be. I messed up that time too. This is really hard, kind of sitting in the hidden style, so let's just set it on the ground right here. Doesn't help that the wind's blowing. So, center. Slowly and gently. Don't smack it, don't stick it, because if you fuck up, you don't want to ruin your grip, or your sticky part of your grip. But I think I got it this time, so let's just do it. So once you figure it out, don't go all the way. Do like maybe a little more than half, maybe less than half, and make sure it's all centered. And if it's centered, then go back from the tail, and just make sure there's no air bubbles. This is really uncomfortable. Just do it very slowly, so there's no air bubbles, because if you're like me, you hate air bubbles. Just do little pieces at a time and like kind of go like up and down the grip. Probably get a close-up of what I'm doing. No, I got a little piece of rock on the grip. Make sure you're in like a cleaner area so you don't get anything under the grip. I picked like the worst place to do this, so like I said, if you have a bench, that's the most ideal. But just gently go up and down and slowly over. Air bubbles are bad. I mean, they don't really matter actually, but. And there we go. Once that's done, go from the center to the outsides. Make sure there's no air bubbles. And now you're ready to cut. Alright, so doing it on the ground isn't ideal, so find somewhere to sit. Grab your file, or in my case, this razor blade, and just go around the edges. Don't try to like scratch off the top of the grip where your like feet are gonna be. Try to scratch off like where you're gonna cut. I'm going to grab a different tool. Fuck this. I'm just gonna use the end of this because it's kind of like a file in a way. So much easier. You don't have to go over it twice, but it does make it like 10 times easier to cut. This is awkward. So when you're done filing, your board should look something like this. Make sure your sides of the grip aren't like under the board because you want them out. If they're under the board, it's gonna be hard to cut it. Should just look exactly like this. So I would say cutting the board is definitely the hardest part and the most dangerous, so be careful, especially if you're using a razor blade because they're insanely sharp. But just start on the side of the board, cut a slit in the center, and then as you're going around, just apply a small amount of pressure like to the side of the board and just try to get as close to an edge as possible. As I'm doing right here, it's ideal to cut the whole piece of grip in one piece, but sometimes you can't do that. I remember when I first gripped a few boards, like I would just cut like pieces off because I didn't know what I was doing. But with a razor blade and with how many boards I've gripped at this point, it's super easy, so don't expect to like get it first try. You can do it. You just got to take your time, try not to rush it, and if you have a razor blade, it shouldn't be a problem. Now that you're done with that, stick the sticky sides together, kind of fold it up. You're just going to use this to sand down the sides of the board just so it doesn't come undone on you. I've honestly only had that happen once, but it was like really old grip, so. The sanding's mainly the part I was talking about why you need to do it outside, because if you probably can't see, but my hands are disgusting now. So basically, a perfect grip job. There's just one little part I messed up on right here, and that's because the grip like folded under while I was cutting, but you just gotta take your time, and you can see like where I backed out and redid it a little bit. But as long as you take your time, you can pretty much get a perfect grip job every time. Then all you gotta do is poke your holes in when you're setting it up.
Take a deep breath, might be the last left. Live, then we die. Every day could be our last step. Hesitate from the mind for what I kept, cause the pain from the sock kept me dry when I slept. Take a deep breath, might be the last left. Live, then we die. Every day could be our last step. Hesitate from the mind for what I kept, cause the pain from the sock kept me dry when I slept.
Yeah, waiting for the summer breeze. Chilling with a couple friends, trying to smoke a bleeze. Nah, I don't drink without an occasion.
I hope you guys enjoyed that tutorial. I love making tutorials because I know it helps you guys out. And now I'm hooking up the stream, so hopefully I can get to communicate with you guys a little better. Maybe stream like an hour a day while I edit and say what's up to all the homies out there. Let me know what you guys thought of this video. I just wanted to get something out there so there won't be any skateboarding, but like, comment, subscribe, homies, and peace out.